Today we are going to start with database users and database system architecture. In the last session we have gone through DML and I hope whatever we discussed at least you have understood a little. I am not saying that you must have understood everything in the last session, but the entire unit number 2 is dedicated for SQL. We had just the introduction in the last session, right? So today we are going to begin with the kinds of users that we may have for the database systems, and then we'll be focusing upon the database system architecture. So users are in fact differentiated by the way they expect to interact with the system. So if I'm having a database management system, I may have different kinds of users, right? Variety of users. So depending on how they interact with my database, we are having those categories. We are going to discuss those kinds of users we may have for our database system. So the very first category of the users is the naive users. So what we mean by those kinds of users? Those are in fact the end users of the system. These are unsophisticated users and those actually interact with our database system by invoking one of the permanent application programs that have been written previously. What I mean by that? Say for example, we are having our university database. That is our running example that we are talking about, right? It is a university database wherein we are having lots of functionalities available. Okay, so if I'm having that kind of a database, then who is the naive user for that database? Let us assume that we are having in that database application, we are having one application program, right, that will allow the user to input the information about the students, right? So what that user will have one application program, access to one application program, one form, you may say one form, wherein the details about the students are asked, right? So this user will have access to some kind of a form wherein the information like URL of the student, name of the student, class of the student, right? Total credits of the student, something like that. So such kind of information is being asked for. So there are some text fields and there are some text boxes wherein that user will input the data. So if URL is being asked for, the user will input the data for that URL, for that student. Then maybe name of the student is asked for, so the user will input name of the student and so on. So the user will be presented with one application program and that is meant for inserting the data related to students. And then there will be one functionality like submit button. So whenever the user will submit the button, then that data gets inserted into my database. Are you getting me? So that is one kind of application program. And who is going to use that application program? Maybe a clerk in the department or maybe the clerk in the office. That clerk is actually going to use that form just to input the data. So this user is the end user, or this user is the unsophisticated user, or the user is the naive user. So this user is simply invoking some application program and inputting some data. That's all. right? Or the naive user may use another application program just to get the report of the students, just to get the list of the students. Is that correct? So such kinds of users who are actually invoking one of the permanent application programs that have been written already previously, right, to provide some kind of functionality. That program this naive user is simply making use of, like inputting the data, finding out some report, just visualizing some report, something like that, right? So the people who are actually accessing the database over the web are the naive users. What they do? Say for example, I am a user and suppose I want to create one account in Gmail. What I'll do? I'll click on sign up utility. So whenever I click on sign up, right, then I'll be presented with one form wherein my personal information is asked for. So what I'll do? I'll just simply input the information and click on submit. So I'm making use of one application program that was previously written and that was presented to me by Gmail. I'm just making use of that functionality. So in this scenario, I'll be the naive user because I'm using something which is already available, some program that is available. I'm just
Hello,
feeding the information.
hello, ma'am.
Yes.
So sorry for the interruption, but one of my friend is waiting in lobby. So can you please add him?
Yes, once again, I'll be giving one instruction. Please join the meetings on time. Because sometimes it may happen that during the flow of the class, it may not be possible to check who is waiting in the lobby. So it should not happen. In certain cases, I do agree that due to some disconnections and due to some unavoidable reasons, you might be late. But it should not happen frequently. Please have a note.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Sure. Yeah, ma'am.
Fine. So we were talking about the naive user. So who are the naive users or who are the end users? These are the unsophisticated users, right? Those are actually making use of the ready-made application program and they are simply using the functionalities. For example, any data entry operator, any clerk in the office, all those people are the naive users. They are using the forms, they are inputting the information, they are submitting that information, okay? Or they are browsing some kinds of reports. If I want to find out, if I am a clerk and if I want to find out the list of the students, I'll be clicking on that functionality and I'll get the application program, output of that application program in the form of a report. Correct? So that is what we mean by the naive users or the end users. I hope you must have understood, right? The bank tellers are the naive users. So if you go personally to the bank and if you ask the clerk or the teller of the bank regarding the balance of your account, what that person will do, that person will use some application program, right? That person will search for your record with your account number, right? And that person will get the balance of your account and he will tell you or she will tell you what is the balance of your account. So once again, this bank teller is a naive user because he or she is simply making use of the application program that is already there. Okay, so I hope you must have understood who is the naive user or the end user. The next category of the database users is the application programmer. So who is the application programmer? Application programmer is usually a computer professional who writes the application program. I will repeat. Application programmers is the category of the database users who are the computer professionals and who actually are writing the application programs to be used maybe by the naive users, right? So application programmers are writing the application programs, the codes, and typically they are interacting with our database system through the DML calls. Many times these application programmers are using some kinds of tools, right, to develop the user interfaces. So while writing a program, the application programmers are making use of certain tools. To name such a tool, one simple tool I'll be quoting here, the Rapid Application Development Tools, RAD tools. You might have heard about RAD tools. That is Rapid Application Development Tools. These are the tools. Those enable the application programmer to construct the forms, to create the reports, and so on. Okay, so what is the role of application programmer? Application programmer is actually writing the code to provide the functionality. So I'll give you one example. I have mentioned one example of a naive user. So who is the naive user? A clerk who is using a data entry form to input the data for the student. So as that user is using only the application program, we are saying that that is a naive user. But whoever has written that application program is the application programmer. Are actually or building such kinds of forms by writing some code, by using some tools, right? So say for example, if I want to have a report in my database system, and what kind of report I would like to have? I just want to have a report that gives me the list of the students, right, who have not yet completed the admission procedure, right? What I want to have a report of the students who have not yet completed the admission procedure. Correct? So if I want to have such kind of a functionality, who is going to generate or create that report? The application programmer. Who is going to write the code for that report? The application programmer. So application programmer will provide me that functionality. So coding part or creation of a report, new report, will be done by the application programmer, right? So once I'm having that functionality, the application program with me, then I may ask the clerk to get that printed report for me. So here is the role of the naive user who will use that application, who is going to click on that particular report now. Report is already created by the application programmer, right? The code has been written by the application programmer. And the naive user will now use that code and will give me the report, the printed report maybe, or the soft copy report. Got the difference? If you have any kind of doubt, please go ahead with the doubts, sir. Please interrupt me if you are having any doubts. Yes. Any doubt? May I proceed with the next? Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Or any confusion? Yes. So if you have no doubts, let me proceed with the next kind of user, who is the sophisticated user. So what we mean by a sophisticated user now? The sophisticated users are interacting with the database system without writing any program, but instead they are making directly the use of database query language to extract whatever data they want. I'll repeat, who are the sophisticated users? Those users are not using the application programs, right? Or they are not writing those application programs. But what they are doing, they are aware. They are sophisticated users. So they are aware of the database query languages. So they are directly providing the requests in the form of a database query language. They might be using SQL, right? Directly to extract the information, whatever is required. Right? So who are typically the sophisticated users? The data analysts. The data analysts. So data analysts, what is their role? They want to analyze the huge amount of data that is stored in the database. What we mean by analyzing the data? Maybe you might have heard about something like data mining or something like that. So what they do, the data mining is being performed by data analysts. So what actually the data analysts do, they find out some kinds of trends from the data. Say for example, I'm having a chain of departmental stores like D-Mart, right? So every day, millions of people are visiting the D-Mart kind of a shop, right? It is a departmental store. And there is a chain of such stores. So in many of the cities, we may find this kind of a store, D-Mart. And all these D-Mart stores are being connected, right? And the database or whatever are the entries, whatever is the purchase or sale entries with respect to that particular store, everything is being stored in the database, right? So a huge database is being generated. Lots of entries are being generated every day. Correct? Now, such kinds of stores are actually appointing few of the people who are data analysts. So what they do, they actually keep on analyzing the data that is being acquired on daily basis. And the reason is they would like to say, I'm just giving you one example. There are many number of such applications and examples. So what they want to find out, they simply want to find out the trend. Say for example, what kind of product is fast moving, meaning which product is in huge demand nowadays, or which products are being asked for by the customers in last 15 days, right? So they, or which store is having the highest sale and which products are being sold by that store large in quantity, something like that. So such kind of analysis is required. right? Why? To have some kinds of business decisions, right? So to have such kinds of business decisions, whatever data analysis needs to be done, that is being carried out by the data analysts. And these data analysts are the sophisticated users who are not actually writing any application program, but what they are doing is they are using some kinds of data analytics tools, or they are directly using some requests written in database query language, and whatever they want, they are trying to extract it from the database, right? So I hope you must have understood what I mean by sophisticated users. Typically, these users are providing the request to the database system in the form of database query language. So sophisticated users are typically the data analysts. Those are actually analyzing huge amount of data that is stored in the database to come up with some kind of decision making rules, right? And then the administrators will work accordingly. Okay, so they are giving these administrators some insights about the data. So data analysts are analyzing the data and providing some insights about the data. Just I mentioned which store has the maximum sale, which product is in demand during some specified period of time, right? So based on certain aspects, they continuously are analyzing the data. The next category of users is the specialized users. So what are those specialized users? Those users are actually writing some specialized database applications. Specialized database applications. Those applications, in fact, do not fit into the traditional framework of data processing. What I mean by that, say for example, there is a database application and that requires handling of, or that requires some computer aided design work. Okay, or you might have heard about the expert system. So expert system is having some sort of intelligence with that. Instead of having purely a database application, traditional database application, the expert systems are having something extra that will give such kinds of systems a little intelligence or some kind of a decision making capabilities, right? So such kinds of expert systems, or as I mentioned, some kind of computer aided design system which makes use of data, right? Or the database systems, those are actually making use of some complex data types. For example, some graphical representations, some audio data, some video data, and by making use of such kinds of data, they are building some database applications, right? So the applications, those are having some complex functionalities or some spatial requirements. Such applications do not fit into the traditional data processing framework or traditional database applications. So the users who write such kind of specialized applications are the specialized users. Am I clear? I'm going to once again repeat. First category, naive users. So these users are unsophisticated users who are making use of the application programs. Those are been previously written, right? So they are simply making use of some forms. Those will allow the user to input some data, to store some data, right? To have some reports from stored data, such kind of simple functionality. So these users are making use of such application programs to interact with the underlying database system. Who are the application programmers? Application programmers are the users who are actually writing the codes by making use of some tools like rapid development tools, right? So rapid application development tools, RAD tools. These tools are being used to generate the forms, to generate the reports, and they also are writing some codes, right? So these are the application programmers, and typically these application programmers are writing the codes and they are interacting with the systems by making use of some DML calls. Third category is the sophisticated users. So who are those users? Those are requesting some data from the database by making use of database query language. The sophisticated users are typically the data analysts. Those are having access to huge amount of data, and out of that data they want to find out some kinds of trends. Those will be useful for some business decisions. So these are the sophisticated users. Data analysts are the sophisticated users. The next category, specialized users. So these specialized users are also writing the database applications, but these applications are different than the common traditional applications. So what kind of applications they are writing? They are writing the applications like some computer aided design, some expert systems, right? Or the database applications, those are making use of some complex data structures such as audios, videos, and so on. So these kinds of users are known as the specialized users, right? And finally, we are having the database administrators. So who are the database administrators? The database administrators are actually coordinating the each and every activity of the database system. So these database administrators are having the entire control of the database system. So database administrators are coordinating all the activities of the database management system. So in every big organization, in corporates, there are certain roles like database administrator. So after graduation, you may work as the database administrator for some kind of organization. You may work as the data analyst for some organization. You may work as the application programmer for some organization, right? You may write some specialized applications and you might become a specialized user of the database system, right? So all those roles are applicable for computer professionals. But let me tell you, after graduating as a computer engineer, you may not work like a naive user in some organization, being that is your one of the major roles, right? Because naive users are just simply the operators, right? They are making use of the application programmer, application program. But being you as a computer professional, you will work as application programmer who will write those programs. You may work as the data analyst, the sophisticated user. You may work as the specialized user, like you are building the applications, complex applications, expert systems and all, right? Or you may become a database administrator, having the of the database system in the organization. That
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so we are now talking about the database administrator. right? So as I mentioned, database administrators are having the entire responsibility of the database system in an organization, right? So database administrator is coordinating all the activities of the database system, and that is why the database administrator must have a good understanding of all the resources available with the organization, all the needs of the organization, and every information, all the details about the organization should be known by the database administrator. Database administrator should understand each and everything about the organization with respect to the database systems, right? And then only it is possible for the database administrator to look after the entire database needs of the organization. So let us list out now the duties of the database administrator. So the very first duty of the database administrator is the schema definition. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the first duty of database administrator is defining the schema. So what we mean by defining the schema? Say suppose you are talking about the university database, right? So university database will have a very big schema. Like the schema will have the table related to students, the table related to instructor, the table related to courses, the table related to department, right? So there are lots of tables. Actually, those are included in my university schema. So who is responsible to define this schema, entire schema? Because schema definition means making use of data definition language, DDL, right? And to prepare the entire definition for the schema. So the database administrator is actually defining the schema for the entire organization. So that is the very first duty of the database administrator. Okay? So the second duty of the database administrator is the storage structure and access method definition. So what we mean by that in fact the database administrator should be aware of how actually the data is being stored at the physical level. We have already talked about the physical level of the database system, right? So at the physical level, we need to consider the mechanism, the storage structures, the data structures, and how actually the data is being accessed, right? So all those details are being represented by the database administrator, and database administrator is actually going to decide what kind of data structure needs to be used, what kind of indexing mechanisms are to be used. So all those decisions are being made by database administrator. The next task is the schema and physical organization modification. So what we mean by that, once again, to improve the performance of the database. See, many times what happens is, as the time passes, right? As the time passes, there would be a possibility that due to of data that is being stored in the database, sometimes my database performance gets degraded. So initially my database was performing really well, but after some time or after few months or after few years, it may happen that now the performance of my system has degraded. So in such situations, what needs to be done? In such situations, sometimes we need to take the decision to change some storage structures at the physical level. So it may happen that I need to take the decision to improve upon, I need to change the database structure, I need to change the indexing mechanism, whatever was the indexing algorithm I was using earlier, I may need to change that. Sometimes new requirements are being generated by the organization. Say for example, sometimes it may happen that we are talking about the university schema, and let us assume that apart from engineering, now we have started some other programs other than engineering. So that was not included in my database earlier. So if that is not included in my database earlier, what I need to do? Now I want to accommodate. I need to modify that schema so that I can accommodate whatever is new requirement. Sometimes it may happen that right now I'm storing some data related to the student, some data related to the instructor, but what I need to do is now I need to add some more attributes in my student table, in my instructor table, or something like that. I have changed the grading scheme, the university has changed the grading scheme. So that is the modification, new modification, and we need to incorporate that modification in our existing database. So it is the responsibility of our database administrator to look at such kinds of modifications and to modify the schema appropriately. If required, to modify the schema at physical level as well. So all these kinds of modifications in the schema, all these kinds of modifications at physical level, those are being taken care of by the database administrator, right? The next duty of the database administrator is the granting user authority to access the data. What we mean by that? We have seen something related to this earlier. Suppose I am having a university data, right? Or we are having the database at our institute. We are having the users, like I am having the students, I am having the instructors, I am having the administrators, I am having the director, right? So this user, with respect to the designation of the user, we need to provide some kinds of rights to access the database. So students will have different rights. Students will have access to some part of database. Instructors will have access to another part of database. Administrators or the director, principal are having the access to different kind of database, or maybe they need to provide access to all the database. So which kind of a user will have what kind of a right? That needs to be determined, that needs to be granted earlier, and whose responsibility it is to grant the permissions to access the database. Once again, this is the duty of database administrator. The last duty of the database administrator is the routine maintenance. So what we mean by routine maintenance? See, if I'm having a huge database, I need to maintain that database. What I mean by maintaining the database, I need to have backup of the database periodically. So there is a threat always, right? That sometimes it may happen that there is a failure with my hardware. It may happen that there is a failure with my software. Anything can happen. So it is always a responsibility of a database administrator to maintain the backup of our entire database. So usually the database administrator schedule when to take the backup of the system, and according to that scheduled time, the database administrators are undergoing that kind of a function, that is backing up the database. Next, routine maintenance is like ensuring whether there is a free space available on the disks. So sometimes it may happen that due to daily updations and insertions in the data, sometimes it may happen that the capacity of the disk, right, is not being enough to store that data. So the database administrator needs to keep track about all those things, whether the data disk space is available with the users, whether it is enough. If not, then the database administrator needs to think of replacing the disks to storing the data and all such kinds of applications. Further, the database administrator also continuously need to monitor the performance of the system. Whether the database management system is performing well, whether all the jobs are being carried out without any degradation of the performance, right? Whether the users are having any kind of difficulty in accessing the database. So all such kinds of monitoring is also being done by the database administrator. So these 5 are the important duties of the database administrator. So as I mentioned, database administrator is having the whole and sole responsibility of the database of the enterprise. And that is why with respect to databases, database administrator carries a huge responsibility, right? And that is why this is one of the most important roles in many of the organizations. And being a computer professional, it is possible for you to work as a database administrator, right? So if you have any doubts, please let. Okay, fine. So let us conclude today's session. In the next session, we are going to continue with the system architecture of the database system.